Hey, good morning, Soul Fam. What's going on? A little bit of a different thing today. I know most people probably, if you're listening, right? But if you listen to my stuff, I'm all over the place. I'm a normal human being. I've got many different interests. I usually talk about the spiritual stuff because I think that's the most important. But part of spirituality is being a human and all that encompasses with that. So, some of my more human interests, which I'm going to kind of tie back together with everything, which is also the label of this, is FBC Firebreak. I like most of my life, guys. I've been a gamer. Like I'm a gamer. Like I would very much classify myself as one, which is unfortunate with the current state of gaming. I'd say the absolute state of gaming, guys. Right? Let's see if I can clean that off a bit. But the absolute state of gaming, guys, not good, man, not good. I say it jokingly, but I haven't had a console in a few years, and I won't get into why, but I had a PlayStation 4 for a while, but if I ever seem like because I wanted, I'll take responsibility for my own actions and stuff. I'm the one who trusted these individuals, but I've been taken advantage of by many women, guys. The PlayStation 4, very much mine, lent it to a woman so her and her family could have it, and then she stopped talking to me. Interesting. Okay, so anyway, but getting back on subject. But that's not an issue. That's not an issue. Because of who I am, because of my relationship with money, I'm able to get more. It's not like I can't. This is what I want most people to understand. It's not that I don't have a good relationship with money, because I very much do. I understand money. I understand business. And when do we, as consumers and participants in this system, become responsible for the system that we're in? Just take a look at Nintendo. Like, if you're up on those kind of avenues, spheres of news, I don't know what to say, but they're like a nutshell. They are releasing a new console called the Switch 2, and it's marginally better. Like technical requirements are better. But on almost every single level, it's just super scummy practices. And a lot of the stuff that they're doing is it's a slap in the face to customers. It's a slap in the face to, it's insulting. It's essentially insulting. It's like, we know what we're doing is wrong, and we're overcharging you, and we're doing these things, and we're strong-arming the situation, but because we're Nintendo, we're going to do it anyway, and you're going to buy it. And that's the attitude we need to walk away from, you guys. To me, that, and I've hinted about it before, but we got to be aware of what I call narcissistic companies. Just as we need to be aware of narcissists for romantic relationships, and I would even say for any relationship, really, any kind of human relationship, we also need to start being aware that these kind of individuals can start to run and integrate into companies, which then makes that organization or that business or that company narcissistic. And so we got to be aware of that. And part of this is double-sided. If you're aware that your company or that your organization is narcissistic, you got to quit. Now, I know there's layers, but start planning on quitting. Because the moment that you become aware, especially if you're really consciously aware that the company or the organization that you're a part of is narcissistic in nature, you are even more responsible, and you'll energetically feel it too. And it's gonna feel like crap, guys. It's gonna feel like crap until you walk away, and then the universe will bend over backwards to help you find out what's going on. And so, unrelated, related, right? The gaming sphere. I love co-op games. Co-op games are fun. It really sucks. I used to be a couch co-op person, and just seeing the lack of co-op games, like real co-op games, has just been more of an example of me seeing these narcissistic companies in action, because those kind of games are what the gamers want. They're not what is the most profitable per se. And so when you get a narcissistic company that basically gets free reign of whatever they're able to do, because let's be honest, guys, regulate countries and things are supposed to regulate things, and don't get me wrong, because I still have qualms with the government and everything. But when I talk about the government, what I'm talking about is the same thing as when I talk about these negative narcissistic corporations. What you really have are individuals who are organizing in a particular fashion that is what I would call antisocial. It's actually destructive toward the very systems that they're participating in, which is why we have to be very careful. Like, if it was just one or two companies, it'd be easy, right? You just kind of be aware, and then you just slowly bleed out the companies through not giving them attention, not giving them money, not giving them essentially narcissistic supply. And what makes this difficult is that, to me, from where I'm coming from, it just kind of seems like everything is like the narcissists have basically infiltrated all of society. And so where do we go from here when society itself, like, we're living in the upside down as far as I'm concerned, guys, where I would say the majority of companies are narcissistic. The majority of practices and business practices are narcissistic. And it's gotten to such a bad point where people who are aware are either apathetic, indifferent, in so much as, like, there's nothing I can do. This is the way that it is, and so it sucks, but I guess we're all going to hell together. And it's just like, no. I can acknowledge it, and I've been there too, guys. I'm not saying otherwise, but staying there, no, sorry, Bob, don't do it. And you can choose differently too, just like me, just like anyone. Squirrel. Literal. So back on the FBC Firebreak, Remedy is, I'm not sure, correct me, right? But it's developer, publisher, kind of related. But essentially, Remedy games I've always liked. My first Remedy game I think I ever played was Max Payne. And even more learned about the behind the scenes stuff, Sam Lake, everything. I like Remedy. I like Remedy a lot. For a company to have a good sense of humor and to keep things, even with their success, to keep things what I would say clean in a way, and I mean it in a very energetic way. And so there's this game that's it's been called Control. Has to do with what I would say is like SCP Foundation style stuff, if you know what that is, in a Control, in the story of Control, but in that universe, which they call the Federal Bureau of Control. And it's a great concept, guys. I love stories, man. I love stories. I love the concept of Control, the Federal Bureau of Control, the oldest house. It's such a great story, guys. Love it. Absolutely love it. Such a wonderful story. That whole organization and everything, too. I feel like I'm already a part of it, you guys. Once you're part of the organization, you can't really stop. Maybe temporary retirement or something. But anyway, moving on. Great game. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. It was a single-player game, Control. So Control 2's on the way to coming out and everything. But in the meantime, they've released a co-op game. And so I was following this, and FBC Firebreak. And it's less story-oriented, and everything about it just seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. Like, I'm excited. I before everything kind of fell through for me, I was really planning on finding a place, getting a new console, as crazy and stupid as that is, because I hate, and all this is kind of going off on a tangent here, but part of the reason why I didn't want to get this, why I've been putting off going back into real gaming, is because the absolute state of gaming, guys, it's stupid. I don't want to give these narcissistic companies money. And Xbox, I don't trust them. I think they're a narcissistic company. Sony, nope, don't trust them. They're a narcissistic company. Then and then PCs, where it's just like it requires a lot of money, and then it also requires a stable place, and that's something I don't have right now. Always on the move, guys. Always on the move. Until I'm not, but always on the move for now. all of that said, it makes it very unlikely for me to be able to participate in the FBC, in the launch of FBC Firebreak. I really wanted to. They've done a crappy job of marketing it, if you ask me personally. Laid back, I know they haven't been spending a lot of money on it, and I understand why. I got my own, interpretations of certain things, business stuff and everything. Kind of like a Hail Mary, because they're a story-driven, single-player, known publisher / developer, and so this is kind of out of left field. And the market's very much saturated with online shooters, guys. It very much is. But still, I would say, just as an appreciator of good energy, guys, check out FBC Firebreak if you're capable of it and still embroiled in the system and everything, like I used to be, and still am to some degree. It's not like I'm completely free of society or anything, but from the diseased society. But I'm doing good, guys. I'm doing good. Every day is a new day. Every moment's a new moment. Gaining energy, too. Being easy with myself. Still got a lot of things to go through. Moving. But that's for other videos. I'm trying to stay on subject here. That's right. And so that's really the big portion. Maybe I'll make this a shorter video today, right? 11 minutes. Because I'm sad, guys. I really wanted, I really wanted to be on the bottom floor with the launch for FBC Firebreak, and we'll see what happens eventually within the eventuality. Maybe I'll eventually get a Steam Deck. I like Valve. Valve seems to be a better company, but even then, if all of these narcissistic companies are putting pressure on, it just gets intense, guys. There's too many things to talk about in one particular video, and that's why I say, just do your own research. If you hear me talk about stuff, it's just I try to link things together as best as I can. But think about lobbyists, guys. And so, if I'm just to oversimplify the situation, the rules are being created by those who do not want to have rules for themselves. And so let's be very clear about that. It'd be like, this is why I call them narcissistic companies, why I call them narcissistic individuals, why I point this out. I just want to show you where it's just imagine an individual who's like, I'm going to be in charge and I'm going to create rules. Now, those rules do not apply to me. They only apply situationally to everyone else that I want them to, but they never apply to me unless it's for my benefit, and then they do apply to me. And so the best way to condense this kind of perspective is it is an extremely immature, conceited perspective that cannot see outside of itself, and so it is stuck in a cyclical loop of self-degradation. It's the best way for me to say it, you guys. Imagine a consciousness which is slapping itself and then saying something else is slapping me. And so what's going to change? Nothing. That person or that consciousness is going to continue to slap itself. It's going to blame things which are not real, which are not based in truth. So there's no basis in truth. And that person is that individual, that consciousness, that whatever, is going to continue to do the same thing. So that is the literal definition of insanity. And this is why I'm so I'm sort of shake it. I just, guys, I get overwhelmed sometimes because to me it is so apparent that we are stuck in this addictive cycle, societally speaking, and I see it generationally within individuals. That's why it's taken me a while to really back away from some of the older habits which have kept me, okay with society, because I've seen it for what it is, and I think a lot of us are there too. And so, if anything, my premise, my talks here, my whole channel is to be if you're starting to wake up, just like I have been, just like the situation is what it is, or if you've been awake for a long time but you have been in a state of self-medicating to make existence, I'm not even say palpable, but just like to make it less painful, because that's all that it does, guys. It doesn't make it non-painful. It makes it less painful, and I would dare I say it makes it less painful temporarily. And there's good points for that too. Like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes a temporary pain relief is exactly what we need, but long term, no. We should not be thinking short-term solutions are a long-term solution, because then, like, it causes problems, guys. It causes problems. The same thing that I've been talking about. And so that's why, guys. That's why I'm probably just going to keep this short right there. And I'll go into more stuff later with everything as well. But the biggest thing is just like I want to participate, in society. I really, really do. Like, I could be anything, guys. Like, I've wanted to make stories. I've wanted to be a video game developer. Whether it's that's storyboards, whether that's programming, less programming, I could do that, but it'd be out of necessity more than anything. I'm more interested in the story and the art and everything. And the synergy of how things work, guys. Like, I just love it. Video games, like, that's why I've been excited about FBC Firebreak, guys. It's sad. So I hope you guys have fun with it. Like, if you're able to still do it, I hope you have fun with it. And I'm not sorry about my choice, though, at the same time. Like screw Sony, guys. Seriously, screw Xbox. Like, no way. I might get a Steam Deck here so I can play it, but I have to get my situation under control first. And even if I'm doing that, I'm still going to be talking about the same stuff. And I say even further, like I know gamers and people in my sphere probably don't want to hear this, but are video games really that important? Like, if society really starts breaking down and we have these narcissistic companies and these institutions which are forcing themselves upon us in a very real way, what's the most important thing? Circus? Or food? A sustainable community, people you can trust, people who are on the same page as you, I think that's the most important to me right now. So that's why. If anything, this is just kind of me explaining my situation and everything. I occasionally talk about the business side of things because I understand it, and I want to. If the world was in a different place, I would be conducting business just like any man, just like most people would be. The business world, it's very interesting. But what we're looking at right now with all the regulations and all of those kind of things, it's a very precarious situation that we find ourselves in. So that's why I'm navigating as tight as I can, guys, as good as I can. Because I got to remove myself from certain systems. Because I'm not condoning those systems. All right, I'm very and this is the insane thing too, is that these systems are gonna say you condone. Just you looking at it's condoning it. It's just like, yeah, whatever. No, it's not. Just reaffirm your own thoughts. Like, seriously, this is like. I know I'm kind of getting off subject, or it's related. It's all related, but we're already in World War III, you guys. It's just more about information. It's more about consciousness and energetics. That's why shifting your vibe, shifting your perspective. That's the war, guys. That's the war, and it's about keeping your energetics clean. Perspective-wise, behavior, patterns. Body's a temple, all that stuff, and to be patient. Even now, guess what? I've been eating on it. There's a tub of ice cream in there. It's probably not the best thing for my body, but I'm aware of it too. I make sure that I'm enjoying it. I'm consciously participating in that ice cream, and it's within time. I'm not down in the whole freaking tub or anything like that. I'm shaving off, just enjoying it. I think that's how I think we know if our behaviors are ultimately good for our body or not. Is that if we're really enjoying it and we're not using that enjoyment as an escape from pain or trauma, then it's great. then also, if we start doing it too much, it's not going to feel good anymore, and we're going to stop. The only time we don't do that is if we're using it as an escape. And so, kind of relating back to this, are video games like that, you guys? Like, I don't want them to be, but if I was to be really, really real, they have been. You know, I'd use some plant medicine, I would be gaming, and it would make it'd make my 40, 50-hour work weeks doable. To a lesser degree. That's just it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, guys. To a lesser degree. It would have been, I probably could have done it for many, many years, maybe my entire life, if these companies weren't so incredibly narcissistic. I mean, if like this is why I think narcissists are just they're unconscious. Why I really know that they're unconscious is because if you were a conscious predator, if you're really a conscious predator for these companies, like, you slowly bleed out people, right? You don't do what like Nintendo's doing, man. Like, the arrogance, the level of arrogance that these companies have sometimes just shows that they are very much unconscious. And that's I wouldn't say what we're fighting against. That's just the situation as it is. And right, that's me and my stance. I don't support these companies. I don't support this. It makes it sad for situations like Remedy, where I do like Remedy. I don't know all of the details. Maybe there's other narcissistic stuff in that company too. I don't really know. Okay, like, this is why I'm kind of removing myself from society, is because I distrust so much. But from my interactions, my limited interactions, and what I've seen, and the games that I've played from Remedy, I like Remedy, guys. And it sucks that these publishers, not the publishers, but the console creators, these giants, these tech giants, are bogarting good story making, like development of indie games, essentially, what it is. And so if I have to walk away, I have to walk away, guys. That's what I have to do for now. So that's kind of where I'm at. I wish Remedy good luck. Everybody who's playing FBC Firebreak, God bless you guys. Have a lot of fun. Think of me. Yeah, I hope the situation gets better. I'm still, like, my ideal, like never get me wrong, guys, because I could be an Amish. I really, really could. If we need to get back to that point in order to build back up to technology, I'm okay with that. Like, we got to be okay, guys. Like, the first thing we got to do is make sure that we have emotional intelligence and cohesion, because that's where it's at. If we don't have that emotional cohesiveness, then we don't have anything, guys. But that's why truth is so important too. That's why truth is so important. I keep saying this, guys. Two sides, same coin. Hashtag two sides, same coin. Love is one side of the coin. Truth is the other side of the coin. We cannot separate them. Truth without love, not truth. Love without truth, not love. All right. I think I've ranted long enough. 2333 on the clock. Okay. So stay good out there, you guys. Have fun, FBC Firebreak. Getting ready to move to the new city. Keep focusing on your guys' energy too. I don't know, whoever listening to this. But we're doing this. We're doing this little bits at a time. And I'll keep you guys posted. Maybe I'll make another video later. Might do a Nightwalker episode tonight. It's been a while. I need to get a GoPro or something, because just carrying my camera everywhere and then walking it up here, and then it's okay. It's usable, But making things easier on myself and making it a better viewing experience, probably good for everybody, right? So okay. Let's move on then. So grateful for you guys. So grateful. Thank you. Making these videos and everything is about. It's my purpose, guys. We can, and at least putting out the broadcast, like so much of this. I want to make sure I'm doing my part to make sure it gets out there. But it is so much just making sure that I'm putting out the broadcast. We can choose differently. We can recognize that there's evil in the world without succumbing to it, and then we can walk away from it and choose our own. And I'm an example of that, you guys. So there we go. Peace out, love within, and catch you guys on the flip side.